Guys, I want to talk about Maddison. Lots of reports that are coming out in the last half an hour, literally since we started this show, said that it's a suspected MCL for James Maddison. So that's going to be to do with his knee ligaments, and that they reckon the season is over and it's going to be 2 to 3 months minimum. Now, that's not been verified, but this is the same source. You know, like we like a source, don't you? We like a bit of HP, that said about Bergvall the other day. Same source that said about all the other players when they were getting injured. So I've got no reason to believe this isn't true. Guys, James Maddison, for me, when he doesn't play, I don't think Spurs play. I think we are that bad that without Maddison's creativity, I think we are awful. I'll come to you, Danilis, with this first.
Oh, yeah.
How big a miss is James Maddison? How much now do I think people that haven't rated him all year need to actually start appreciating it? And can we go and win a Europa League without Maddison and his creativity?
I mean, what awful news. I mean, Ange said today in his press conference, didn't he? It doesn't look good. Yeah. So we're not going to have him. And look, I do have hope for that Europa League still. I do have hope. I'm not saying we can win it, but we got a chance. And you need Maddison. Yes, you need him. We're so reliant on him. If he's not in the side, I mean, you look at Kulusevski, he's not playing well. I mean, what are we going to do, especially if we get to that final, you know, and you're going to need your best players to create things and make things happen. We saw how poor we were the other day when Maddison came off the pitch.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a manager who does not manage well without certain players. You know, he's not a manager who will find solutions to this sort of problem. So you look at the team and you think, well, who's going to be the guy? Who's going to get us over the line? And there's literally no one. Obviously, Son in the past, he could do it, but he's not the same player anymore. I mean, I just don't know how we're going to attack in any way, shape or form. So that's my take of it at the moment. But devastating news, guys. Really, that's probably the worst thing today, other than that, obviously, that boring performance. But that news today, I mean, talk about devastating, eh?
I mean, Danny, let me... actually, Dan, Luba, both of you, whoever. Dan's right. When he came off the other night, I felt we lost all... He's the glue for me. He's that one player that's got the vision. He's that one player that when he gets the ball, he's always on the half turn. He's always looking to spray balls right, spray them left, play forwards in, brings others into the game. I was always told this, I know this sounds weird. He's a footballer. You know, some footballers they run around, he's a player. Like, he's a proper footballer's brain. How big a miss, chaps, is James Maddison?
Gordon.
You can't replace him. I'm gonna. If Madders is out for the season, it sounds. If you look at No Smoke Without Fire, it sounds as though his season's done. Then I'm going to come out with something very outside the box now. And I'm going to do an Eddie Howe.
No, Archie Gray won't work up there.
You're going to. No. I'm not talking about Archie Gray. Archie Gray is certainly not a 10. When Eddie Howe was asked why he played Lewis Miley when he had more experienced players that he could play in that position last season when they had all those injuries, Howe turned around and said, "I'm going to play a round peg in a round hole. I could play more experienced players in that position, but that's not their position. So I'm going to play Lewis Miley." And Miley at the time was only 17. We have a number 10 who is vastly inexperienced, but I believe if we can get through Thursday, and that's going to be probably a defensive 90 minutes for us, then I would stick Mikey Moore in at 10 against Palace, and I would put him in against Villa because he is the only 10 in the club, the only one that can play that position. We have nobody else. Kulu, since he came back, is so far off the levels from earlier this season. I'm sorry, he is not the answer. So we're going to play. We're going to play someone who is out for. We've got to have. Listen, tell an ode about and not creating.
No,
it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if Son is back. Donnelly would be perfect if he was at the club to slot in at that 10, but he's at Orient at the moment. And Moore is the only.
He's
10.
got bigger fish to fry in the playoffs.
He has.
Bigger
He
fish
certainly
to fry
does.
down there in League One.
Beating Charlton in the final. Let's hope.
Nah, not my Charlton. Not my Charlton. Say it quietly. The training ground's just over there. Literally, I can see the training ground from my house.
I mean, the thing is with what you're saying there, I can go with what you're saying, but if this Europa is that important that it could basically save our next 3 seasons to an extent, then do you just go and take Mikey Moore out of nowhere and just drop him in the middle of it? Yeah, that is what people are going to ask. Kulusevski is an international player. He has not been good since he got back. But I've told everyone from day one, he's a number 10 and he's a bloody good one at that. He's just not a playmaker. He's not a playmaker. There's 2 types of different 10. That's why I said he's not a playmaker. Watch how he actually plays for Sweden. He plays as at number 10. He usually plays with back to goal, gets it, turns, charges forward, then passes it whatever way he's got to do. Sure. Yeah? He's not one who sits back and has got the eye for it all. He's just not quick enough on his feet with that. He's not even a slow player. It's just he's got no acceleration on him whatsoever. So you would have to change the idea of what you wanted to do a bit if you're going to put Kulusevski in there, basically, because it can work, but then you've got to change a little bit of your system. This is what we mean by adapting. Because we haven't got another player even close to Maddison with the, how shall I put it? With the football IQ he's got, I think is the right way to put it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, for me, Maddison, I think he's a good player. I mean, first time I ever came on your show, Savva, I was telling you we got to go for him because I remember debating with others saying that we wouldn't get him over Newcastle and that. I think he's a little bitch, and he is a little bitch. When it ain't going his way, he gets right moody on the pitch and everything, and he needs a good slap round the face sometimes. But as an overall player, the quality he's got and the skill he's got and got an eye for a ball, the second he's not on there, you just literally see the whole attack just fall to pieces because then there is literally no connection between midfield and attack. Just nothing at all. And Kulu is just not that sort of player. He's more of a sort of box-to-box 10 sort of thing. I'd look at him as sort of thing. He's not a playmaker. I mean, you can even play him in the middle when he's done well there, but we haven't
do you know
got
how
another
you know
player.
that, Dan, as well? Do you know how you know that? If you watch the speed of when James Maddison gets a ball, straight away he's looking up back. He's scanned. And he gets it and gives it.
Yeah.
Kulu, for me, whilst I think he's a good player, he wants forever on the ball. He wants so long, and his decision-making for me is what stops him being a top player. He's a good player. I know people go, oh, you don't rate Kulu. That's not what I've said. He's a good player. But for me, I think he's a bit, I know this sounds mad. I think he's a little bit lightweight. Like when I watch him play, he gets knocked off the ball way too easily. But you are right, Dan. It will be Kulu. Lubo, I'm not saying your theory hasn't got merit.
I agree. It will be Kulu, but it should be more. They should throw him in for 2 games at Palace and Villa, see how he does. Seriously, he moves the ball quickly. You can see he's got quick feet. Kulu, the ball goes to him. He slows the whole thing down every time. There's nothing fast about Kulu. You know,
there is. If you actually watch him play from midfield, the problem is with Kulu is if you actually go on the Spurs speed charts and that, he's quicker than Basuma. He's faster than Basuma over a distance. His biggest letdown is he has got no acceleration on him whatsoever.
Agreed.
It'd take all day to get from 1 to 60, basically, yeah? Whereas the other one can do 60. He can actually run 80, but it just takes him so long to bloody get to it. His acceleration is awful. And to be in that part of the pitch and whatever, you need to be quick, not even fast. You don't need to be the fastest person out there. But if you can get to 0 to 60 in a matter of 2 footsteps, that's where it helps being on the wing. He just doesn't play that way. Look how Sweden play him. Look how Juventus did him when they stuck him in the middle. Maybe this is where our manager needs to have a look and maybe adapt a couple of things, but we know he doesn't when it comes to that sort of thing. because we are going to miss Maddison in a big way. We've got to find another way to get some sort of creativity up there. And if that means with him playing as a number 10 where he charges through people to just put the ball across for one of the insides to come in and try and tap it, then fine. But he's going to need that little bit of space to do that as well. But then the way he's played of late, can he even pull that off at the minute? I don't know. It's just ideas.
Yeah, look, the way I see it, guys, is look, this guy takes a lot of stick, James Maddison. But I think sometimes you realise how good a player is when he's not there, right? Sometimes we take players for granted. And when I watch Maddison play, I'm not saying everything he tries comes off, but he's an ideas man. He's a, let's get on with it quickly, man. He's a, can I thread a ball to the left and go and get it again? And do you know what? When I was coaching years and years and years ago, I remember I worked with this coach who always used to say, it's all about the wall pass. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I love those players who give it and then go and get it again as though they were passing it to themselves off of, you know, when you're a kid and you just pass it against the wall, right? Maddison does that. Maddison's the one that gives the ball. I'm going to go and get it again. We've got a lot of players that don't do that. They'll give the ball and then shy away. And for me, have we got, it might not be as big a problem in Bodo, because I think in Bodo we're probably going to have to do a lot of defensive work. However, if Bodo were to go 2-0 up, I'm not saying they will, I'm just saying if, because I know I'll get clipped and everyone will, Savva said we're going to go 2-0 down. You know what's going to happen. If we were, I then worry about, well, how would we claw back? Who do we then get on the ball that takes a game by the scruff of the neck and says, I'm going to dictate, I'm going to play? Because, Lubo, you called it. You're getting no creativity from the wide men. Like nothing. There's no, sorry, I know people get annoyed at me. I know people are constantly trying to hype up Tell and Odeber. I don't see any creativity from them. They go hiding. Son, if he plays, well, how long's he been out now? He's going to be rusty and it was in no sort of form anyway. You know, Porro is going to be...
I think Sonny will be back Thursday. I've just got a sneaky feeling that he'll be back Thursday.
Sure, but how fit? His form wasn't good before. So yeah. I'm just looking in that game. And then if you get through that and get to the final, who's unlocking that? Who's unlocking Man United? Who's unlocking that? You know, because they'll have a 3-man midfield. They've got 3 centre-backs. Who's threading those balls? Who's creating? I'm just concerned.
Well, if you're talking about sort of jumping ahead to a hypothetical final, for me, you'd be better off playing Porro further up, Spence at right back, because Porro can put balls in and play Solanke and Richie to win those balls in the air. And that's how, for me, that's how you would unlock Man United. Because if you haven't got a Maddison, he's not going to play a more. Kulu is not going to be that player who gets a ball quickly and plays those lovely reverse passes that Maddison does. So you've got to attack it from the wings. So you've got to go for work your strengths. Solanke and Richie are both good in the air, and Porro can cross a ball beautifully.